Right folks, what we're going to look at today is the next step up from the single hook flapper to twin hook flapper. Again, start off with your rig body, put swivel, a little bit on knots, simplest knots, what they call a uni or grinner knot. Take the line, throw a loop, like that. Whip it through about 3 times with this heavy line, 5 times with the lighter line. Put it up like that. It's a good idea to wet the knot just by spitting on it. Yeah, just stops the burning effect of the nylon on nylon. You're now going to want about 1.5 meters of line. Onto this you now have to thread the components for putting the snoods. So we start off with a crimp and a bead. I like these small oval beads. I just find that the swivels for the snoods lie better. Only trouble is the eyesight of seeing them to actually thread the line through. Exactly the same as when we did the single hook flapper. Crimp, bead, swivel, another bead and a crimp. Today we'll repeat that process with another crimp, another bead, another small swivel, another bead and another crimp. We then put on the bottom of this the clip that you're going to hang your lead on. Again, whatever your favourite knot is. I tend to use straightforward blood knots on heavy line. If you're using a low memory line, use a grinner or a uni knot. That's what I showed you in the beginning. Pull that up nice and tight. Yeah. Trim off as you go. That's your basic rig body. What I find is just do a little hole in the end of the thing, put a peg in, drop that swivel over the peg, just allows you to hold everything together. Now onto that you need your snood, which is £15 amnesia. Nothing round here I think you've got to break £15 line on. And what you want is to put a couple of short lengths of snood line on. Now tie those. A good tip at this point is to get an idea of how long you're going to want the snoods. So if you place it, you swivel there, little pencil mark, and then take the snood down to there, little pencil mark. We tend to cut the snoods much the same length every time. Same at the top. Don't worry, not had my coffee this morning yet. Several turns round, thread it through, drop it back down, pull it up nice and tight. That's always now's the time to test your knots. Cut your snood off roughly to length. Right, now start at the top, which is this one. Put your hook on, Tight up. Keep trimming as you go. Now the rule is that when you actually crimp this in place, you don't want that hook to reach back as far as that swivel. So put the hook over the little peg, put your finger on there, unhook it, then slide it back about an inch before you crimp it. Now that doesn't reach back to that swivel, because when you cast that will fly back here and you don't want it catching up on that. Now your other one, you're going to take the other crimp down, right. Your other snood, put the hook on, tie it up, again trim it off. Rig makers are like electricians, you know, you follow them around and there's little bits of tails and clippings and trimmings flying about everywhere. Now again, you don't want this hook to come back and tangle to this swivel here. So again, put it in place, pull the crimp back, so it's that length, hold that, pull back about another inch before you crimp it. Now that hook won't go back to there. Now it doesn't matter if these two hooks can touch like that, because they won't. When you cast, that hook with the bait will fly back that way, that one will fly back, that one will fly back that way. What you don't want is this hook to get tangled up on there. And we simply finish off by running this crimp down, and don't crimp it up so it's absolutely rock tight. Leave a little gap so the swivel can move. You don't want that absolutely solid tight. There you are, your basic 2-hook flapper. Trim that bit off. Finish it off with a rig winder. Again, put the swivel on. First turn goes over the swivel to hold it in place. Wrap it round, don't get carried away wrapping round and yank this hook back into your hand. We've all done it, hurts. Wrap that round, wrap it on, over there, it's over there. Neat and tidy 2-hook flapper. Rigs are simple.